Our next big storm. What you need to know right now. It starts with silence. The kind of eerie calm that precedes a transformation in the atmosphere. But meteorologists across the United States are sounding the alarm, because the next big storm system is already brewing. And over the coming days, millions of Americans will face an unsettling mix of violent weather, damaging winds, large hail, flash flooding, and a very real tornado risk in areas where that threat is usually long gone by August. This is more than a passing storm. It's the return of an unstable and dynamic summer pattern, and it demands your attention. The unusual setup. Why this storm is different. Most Augusts are predictable, humid, hot, sometimes oppressive, but generally stable in terms of severe weather, especially in southern states like Texas or Oklahoma. But this year, Mother Nature is rewriting the script. The current setup involves a shifting high-pressure ridge that has spent the last week nestled over the southern plains. Now, that ridge is retreating westward, allowing a trough of low pressure to sweep down from the Pacific Northwest. This collision, dry air meeting Gulf moisture, upper-level winds clashing with surface heat, is creating the perfect storm environment across the central United States. The Rockies, as always, are playing a key role in storm formation. Their elevation and terrain allow for what meteorologists call lee-side cyclogenesis, which means air descending from the mountains creates surface low pressure. Combine that with mid-level wind shear and high dew points being pulled up from the Gulf of Mexico, and you've got a volatile cocktail primed for supercell development. And this setup won't be brief. Day-by-day breakdown. Where and when it hits. Sunday. The first round of thunderstorms will hit Sunday afternoon. Thunderstorms are expected to develop along the eastern flank of the Rocky Mountains, particularly in northeastern Colorado and the Texas Panhandle. As these storms develop and grow, they will quickly spread into western Kansas and Oklahoma by evening. The Storm Prediction Center has issued mild severe weather warnings across the corridor, including parts of Nebraska. The main threat? Damaging straight-line winds, potentially exceeding 60 miles per hour. But the added danger is the possibility of isolated supercells, rotating storms, that could produce large hail and even a tornado or two. Areas like Amarillo, Texas, and northeastern Colorado could be in the crosshairs. This is unusual. Tornado activity in Texas during August is extremely rare. Typically, such events are associated with tropical cyclones, not inland storm systems. Storms will intensify between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m., with peak intensity between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. by midnight. Most storms will have weakened, but not completely disappeared. Some severe activity could persist into the early morning hours, especially in northern Texas and western Oklahoma. 601.000. Monday's storm follows a similar pattern, albeit with a slightly wider geographic scope. Severe storms extend from South Dakota all the way to northern Texas. Again, the primary danger is wind and hail, but localized tornadoes are still possible, especially in southwest Kansas and western Oklahoma. A secondary threat also looms: flash flooding. With some storms nearly stationary due to weak flow, rainfall could exceed 1 to 2 inches per hour. Some towns could see 4 to 6 inches of rain in a single evening, quickly overwhelming drainage systems and rural roads. Monday evening and Tuesday, the severe threat will increase and expand into early next week. Kansas, Nebraska and Oklahoma are again at risk, as energy continues to feed storms on the eastern edge of the ridge of high pressure. Large hail is more likely as cold air moves in, adding to the instability. Storms could be scattered but strong. Additionally, the risk of flash flooding continues, especially in Texas and Oklahoma, where the ground may already be saturated. The Weather Service warns of a multi-day flood threat, urging residents to monitor warnings and avoid flooded roads. The Southeast, drenched but safe from tornadoes. While the plains are battling wind and hail, the Southeast is facing a different challenge: rain. Heavy, persistent, tropical-style rain, from Georgia to Alabama and the Florida Panhandle. Widespread rainfall totals of 4 to 8 inches are expected over the next 7 days. While severe storm activity is not the main concern, flooding certainly is. Urban centers like Atlanta and Mobile could see water rise quickly in low-lying areas. These rains are typical for the Gulf Coast in August, driven by moist air and weak steering currents, but the volume and duration make this week notable. The heat strikes back. If you're in the Midwest or Northeast, you might be enjoying a cooler than normal start to August. But don't get too comfortable. That refreshing air is only temporary. By midweek, the high-pressure system now shifting west will reorient again, pushing hot, dry air into the Great Plains. Temperatures are expected to soar into the 90s and even triple digits by Thursday and Friday, with oppressive humidity making it feel hotter. This heat dome will expand eastward over the weekend, swallowing the Ohio Valley and possibly the mid-Atlantic states by next Sunday. Expect heat advisories to return. Vulnerable populations, especially the elderly and those without access to air conditioning, will be at risk of heat exhaustion and dehydration. Be prepared to limit outdoor activity. Drink plenty of fluids, and check on neighbors. What about the tropics? It's hurricane season, but you wouldn't know it from looking at the Atlantic. So far, tropical activity has been muted. Saharan dust, dry air, and wind shear have limited storm development. But don't let your guard down. By mid-August, tropical conditions typically become much more favorable. Meteorologists are keeping a close eye on several waves emerging off the African coast. While none show immediate danger, the pattern could shift quickly. Any warming in the Atlantic or reduction in wind shear could lead to rapid cyclone development. If you live anywhere along the Gulf Coast or eastern seaboard, it's time to review your evacuation plans and check your hurricane kits. As one forecaster put it, it only takes one. Safety first. What you can do now. Preparedness is key in events like this. Even if your area isn't the bullseye, you could still be impacted. Here's what you should do today. Download a trusted weather alert app. Ensure your phone is charged and able to receive emergency alerts overnight. Create a tornado action plan. Know where to shelter. Ideally an interior room on the lowest level, away from windows. Prepare for flash floods. Avoid driving through flooded roadways. Just 6 inches of water can cause a vehicle to stall. Have a 72-hour emergency kit. Include food, water, flashlights, batteries, and first aid supplies. Check on neighbors and relatives, especially the elderly or those in mobile homes. Keep pets safe. Make sure they have shelter and aren't left outdoors in storms or extreme heat. Looking ahead, August's second half. As we enter mid-August, several shifts are possible. The severe weather pattern across the plains may relax as upper-level systems flatten out. A new high-pressure system could build over the Great Lakes, bringing stable, if hot, weather to the Midwest. Tropical activity may spike, especially in the western Atlantic and Caribbean. Meanwhile, shortwaves from Canada could bring another round of thunderstorms to the northern plains and Midwest by the third week of August. It's a transition period, where one pattern fades and another begins. Staying weather-aware during these times is especially important. Final thoughts. Eyes on the sky. As our weather grows more dynamic and unpredictable, one thing remains constant: the importance of awareness. This upcoming week isn't just about one storm. It's about a series of evolving threats, some wet, some windy, some searing with heat, from the high plains of Colorado to the shores of the Gulf Coast. Millions will be impacted. Weather doesn't ask for your attention. It demands it. So take a moment to prepare. Review your plans. Talk to your family. And most of all, respect the power of nature.